call this meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. I see a bunch of smiley faces out there. Welcome this evening. Dr. Bristow, do you have invocation of pledges?
We do. We have Mr. Roger Campos. Before that, I'd just like to say to our trustees, welcome to this October 18th regular board meeting, and our staff and our students and our community who are joining us also welcome to this evening. And we kick off our evening with our invocation, followed by our pledge of allegiance. Mr. Campos.
Everybody can please stand. As we begin this meeting, we ask that you would guide our thoughts and our actions so that we may have a successful meeting today. Help us to accomplish our goals while displaying your character. We ask for your inspiration and insights. We ask for your direction and guidance. We ask for your peace and harmony. May we accomplish great things this day, and may we display an attitude of cooperation and respect. We ask for blessings this month for those currently fighting breast cancer so that they may find strength and healing, for victims of domestic violence and that they find comfort and the help that they need. And lastly, to our principals, may they be granted the wisdom to accomplish the work they do every day with our students and staff. In your name we pray. Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Mr. Campos.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Father. Okay, I see we have some nice recognitions this evening.
Yes, sir, we do. I'd like to turn it over to Ms. Jen Collier, who's going to lead us in our recognition this evening, starting with our students.
Good evening, everyone. First up, Elm Creek Elementary would like to recognize fourth grade student Esmeralda Medina. According to her peers, Esmeralda is always helping others catch up on their interactive journals. In addition, she helps her classmates solve math problems. Esmeralda is patient and kind. She has a smile that seems never to leave her face. Esmeralda works very hard each day and has the most positive attitude that will surely help her reach her goals. Elm Creek Elementary is so proud of their explorer and star student, Esmeralda Medina. Congratulations. Next up is McNair Middle School. McNair is proud to recognize Camila Carrasco for Southwest ISD Board recognition. She's enthusiastic about everything she learns in class and has a positive attitude. She's a true joy and a ray of sunshine. She is very kind to others, always smiles, and passes her happiness on to her classmates and teachers. In class, she is bubbly and excited to learn. Her determination has landed her in honor roll classes and in honors classes, that is, and gets master's level on the math and STAR test. All her current and past teachers believe every class needs a student just like her. Camilla is a student athlete and is currently part of the Challenger volleyball team and a member of the McNair Band Wind Ensemble. Congratulations. Next up is Taylor Casey. She is the Student of the Month for Southwest High School. Taylor is a senior and currently ranked in the top 10 of her class. She serves as the section leader for flutes in the Dragon Marching Band, is the vice president of the Student Council. Taylor also carries a full course load of dual credit courses and earned recognition from College Board with the National African American Recognition Award for her performance on her PSAT assessment. When asked about Taylor, Student Council sponsor Mr. Sandoval says Taylor brings enthusiasm and a knowledge skill set that has increased student leaders to serve school and community. She's a leader in problem solving and finding solutions to school projects that serve the high school and is always willing to do tasks and projects that others are not. Taylor plans to attend the University of Denver and study psychology after graduation. Congratulations, Taylor. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Everyone show your nice certificate there. Let's go. Ready, and smile. 1, 2, 3. Hang on a second. Anybody else that want to take one? Principals, family?
All right. I'd just like to say we're very proud of our Students of the Month. Normally, every now and then, they throw a medal but I see it all. They're leading on our campuses and doing exceptionally well. Behind our students of the month, we also know we have families of the month supporting them. So with our family members, if your mom, dad, brother, sister, and anyone here supporting these three great young ladies, would you please stand up? Thank you. We'd also like to ask our principals that are represented, would you please stand up and let us represent you, Southwest High School. So ladies, that's the excitement. We get to recognize you and applaud you and say whatever you're doing, keep doing what you're doing, because apparently there are a lot of folks who see the value and what you contributed to your campus and to your community. So congratulations, once again, very proud of you.
Thank you. We would also like to recognize an award that the district received recently. Southwest ISD has made equity a priority in words and in actions. In 2020, we began a partnership with the Leadership Academy with the clear mission to build the capacity of educational leaders at every level of the system to confront inequities and create the conditions necessary for all students to thrive. This month, the Mexican American School Boards Association recognized Southwest ISD and this work with the Outstanding Cultural Initiative Award. We'd also like to recognize Texas Education Human Resources Day. Governor Greg Abbott proclaimed October 12, 2022 as Texas Education Human Resources Day, a day set aside to recognize and honor the significant contributions made by school staff and human resources. Human resources staff work hard each day to make sure our schools are staffed with high-quality employees, that those employees have a positive work environment. Thank you to our human resources staff for all that you all do.
If you guys understand, if you're in HR, would you please stand up?
That's it?
And they want to come take a picture with me, I promise. Mr. President, that concludes our recognition.
Thank you, great job. Public comments, do we have any? Anyone sign up? Yes.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Board President and fellow board members. We have two speakers tonight. We have Jessica Aragon and Susan Salinas, both from TSTA.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. Hello, everyone. Good evening, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Verstuff. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jessica Aragon. I'm the Southwest TSTA president. I'm the second grade teacher. I'm a parent in the Southwest community and, well, of course, a community member. First, I'd like to talk about our superintendent, Dr. Verstuff, who TSTA has had a very great working relationship with, and the board. And I, or we, as TSTA, hope that the board finds a person who is just as compassionate with our students, our employees, and who values the community like he does. We will truly miss you, and we hope the next superintendent will be the same. Someone who will work with us and have the same relationship. As always, we're all advocates for a great working environment and want the best for everyone here at Southwest. With that said, there has been some confusion on our upcoming half-day planning tomorrow. Employees thought it would be a half-day to plan with our grade levels for the next 9 weeks. Work in our rooms, get caught up with paperwork, data, and other things that make our classroom run. Instead, we're traveling to another campus where our materials are not as accessible to us that we use to plan. And in the past years, this is what we had used these half-days for. This is where the confusion lies. We encourage the district to declare the remaining half-days as teacher work days to allow them time to prepare for the next 9 weeks. And allowing us to do that, or allowing our teachers, employees to do that, allows us to do the best that we can for the next 9 weeks for our students. In conclusion, I would like to let you know that I enjoy working and living in this school district. I believe we provide a stellar education for our students. And in order to keep the morale high in Southwest, it's important to listen to your teachers and employees. After all, we are Southwest. Thank you for your time. Have a great evening.
Good evening. I'm Susan Salinas with TSTA. Tonight, I want to let you know that TSTA conducts a survey regarding moonlighting and morale every year. The only year we didn't do it is with COVID. And since we've been doing it, it's conducted by the Sam Houston State University in Huntsville. And so here's a couple of highlights for you. 94% of the survey said they were stressed in their profession, and it had increased since COVID. 84% said planning and workload requirements increased. 82% they experienced more financial pressure. This is across the state, and you know this by having the shortage in every school district of teachers. It's a little bit harder for everybody. So what we encourage every school district is to look at the morale, look at the working environment, because we believe these things can be fixed. Because 70% of the teachers that were surveyed, who were members, they were seriously considering leaving the profession. 70%, that's high. And that was last spring. It used to be 53%. Now in 2018, that's a huge jump. So we encourage every school district to look at the working environment for employees and try to make it one that wants them to come back and attract new educators into the district. We believe Southwest is a great place to work. We have always said that. If I had to go back to teaching, I tell new teachers I would teach here because you value your teachers and your other employees and the community. So we encourage you to continue to do so, and thank you for your time.
Okay, now we're gonna take about a 2-minute break, because the excitement, as Dr. Verster said, has happened. Okay, you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but at this time, if you'd like to step out, you're welcome to step out. Thank you again.
That's nice.
That was good.
No, I'll just run over.
Nobody ever sits there in the front row, and one chair missing, not gonna.
Well, there's been times where we've had, all filled, but it wasn't. Yeah, teacher award days. That one's a packed day.
Every year they have their fundraiser that they do, like the courtyard area, they perform and stuff like that. That's also surprising to see it out there.
Okay, timeout over. Item 5, consent agenda, A and B. Board members, you've had that before you. Any items wish to be pulled?
I move.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item C, board amendment.
That's under consent.
That's also under consent.
Yeah.
And D is also going to be under consent?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What were those items?
The driving school and,
The trips?
Okay. Item of information, construction update.
nothing for you next, sir. I do wanna, let the board know that I wanna look at planning a date where we can travel and see the new developments that are going around. I know you all requested that. I know that maybe the next round back, I wanna have a
facility subcommittee meeting, but maybe we do that a little earlier and after that go on that trip for the brown bags, but I'll coordinate with everybody to see if everybody can make it. Just so you can see all the new developments that, I know you haven't seen them since the last month, but we have some things popping up.
Okay.
And they're happening. Anything else under construction?
No, sir.
Okay. Monthly tax report,
Tax report, every year budget around 98.5% collections for the year, and this was our last month. September is kind of like the last month before we move them over to delinquency, and so we were like at 98.4, so we're pretty close to where we needed to be, what we budgeted for last fiscal year, so. Came out pretty good.
.48, so it's
Yeah.
really
We're
close.
at 98.5, if I rounded it up, it'd be 98.
Okay. Monthly financial report, investment report. Board members, any questions? Item E, report on gifts and requests. Board members? Enrollment report on page 91. Anything to touch on, anyone? Okay.
Did we go up? We did, right?
474, right?
Wow, that's a lot.
What is our average daily attendance?
Right now, we're around 92%.
And we need to be where?
94 is the best where we need to be, so we're gonna have to continue to work on that. For financial,
Yeah,
Reasons.
around 94 is where we used to be.
okay.
Are we
Purch-
still getting new students? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Sylvester. Yes, they're still flowing in? That's good.
Especially when these apartment complexes keep opening.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Got
about to
it.
fully open the one by Legacy.
Okay, good.
Well, the ones that are finished.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Review purchases over 50,000. Calendar of events, lots of stuff happening. Mobile app,
Yes, sir.
Page
We have a
95.
presentation, with Jenny Collier and Mr. Roger Campos, about launching a self-advising app. We're gonna cover that, in 2 weeks.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm going to talk to you about the mobile app. We are excited to launch it. I promise this will be a quick presentation at the request of Mr. Crisp. I'm going to go over the reasons why we were launching this mobile app, as well as the rollout. We're going to give you guys a sneak peek at the promotional video that we're pushing out, and then Roger Campos will go over a little bit how that mobile app works. So first, let's go into our reasons why into looking into the mobile app. We wanted to diversify our communication platforms. We know that not everyone has social media. We know that not everyone uses a desktop. As a matter of fact, more people are on their mobile phone. We also are looking at a hyper-focus of our storytelling. We want to elevate our storytelling. Why? Because we want to strengthen our brand, continue to strengthen our narrative, and we want to expand our reach. We want to make sure that we're reaching everyone that we can. We're looking at different mediums. We know we have the board report, the newsletter, our website, emails, and now this mobile app will also help expand our reach because not everyone is on social media. And then while we were doing our research, we realized that School Messenger wasn't working out the way it once was. There was a lot of issues with it. And we found that some of the platforms we were looking at also have a mass notification system, which is Aptigee, the one that we are using. We went ahead and went through. We reached out to PEAMS and our safety experts to also look into it if they were on board with this mobile app, and they were. So tomorrow, we are going to launch our staff. We're going to do the rollout on the next, can you go to the next one? We're going to roll out to our staff first. We want to make sure that it's working right. So for the next 2 days, we're going to have a landing page that'll show how it works, how you can download it, the things that you can look for on there. Our staff will have the next 2 days to test it themselves because they can use it on a campus level. And then we're going to start pushing out our social media campaign on Friday, which will have a promotional video about why we are doing this, as well as how they can download it and the things that they can find on there. And then next week, we will start our grassroots campaign. It'll be a letter to parents, as well as some flyers and posters all over the campuses. Before we begin that, again, I want to give you that sneak peek of that promotional video that will push out our social media campaign.
At Southwest ISD, we're committed to keeping you connected to your child and their campus, no matter where you are, near or far. And we've made it quick and easy with one touch, one app, the new Southwest ISD mobile app. Stay up to date with events, district and campus stories, breakfast and lunch menus, safety alerts, push notifications, and so much more. It's a mobile world. Ours is the new Southwest ISD mobile app, committed to keeping you connected. Always be in the know with Southwest ISD on the go. Download the Southwest ISD app today.
So if you look, thank you. If you look at the back of your presentation page, you can download the app now. I ask that you please hold off on promoting it so that we can work out any kinks with the staff. And then as soon as we push it out on Friday, you can go ahead and please, I ask you to go ahead and share it so we can get as many people signed up as possible. I'm gonna go ahead and send it over to Roger now, who's gonna go over how it works.
All right, thank you very much. A second here so I can share my screen. This works right. All right, there we go. All right, so real quick, just as you can see, this is my desktop here, so I am gonna actually open up our Southwest ISD app. So from here, we have what we call our live feed. You'll be able to scroll through and see different events, our stories, things like that that we were talking about. On the bottom, you will see we also have the event calendar. And I know it's scrolling a little slow, but actually it works really fast on my phone. But you can definitely see different events and whatnot. Our menu option, that's where you can get into the meat and potatoes of this thing. So from here, we have our events calendar, like I said. Again, you can go through these things. We have a staff directory. Now we have our wonderful principals on there, but we also have contact information for the campuses. So say, Melissa Garza, we want to get a hold of your campus. We click on that, and we can actually visit the website. We can call the campus. We can email. That way our parents can have real quick access and easy access to our schools. The other part that we also have is our documents area. This is where we put our most used and our most asked for items whenever we get our calls. Where do I find the volunteer application? I know that HR gets that a lot. Well, at the bottom here, we just click on volunteer application, and it takes them right into Frontline, and they can start putting in that application. See something, say something, that's a big thing right now. If they see something, they don't want to have to call a number. We have a link to see something, say something. You go right into that, and they can start putting in the form. So this is going to be a really, really good, powerful tool for us, for our parents to use and our community to use in order to connect with us and get more information, and us also get information from them. Additionally, the other thing that you can do is you can actually choose which schools you want to follow. So say for my instance, we have Southwest ISD, we have all the campuses, and each one is tailored to each campus. So say for instance, my daughter goes to Southwest Elementary, so I have that on my phone. So I can hit Southwest Elementary, and then I'm gonna go to home, and now I can see everything that's going on at Southwest Elementary through their feed, their events, and I can even see their breakfast and lunch menu as well. The other thing that we also have for our middle schools and high schools is that we have our athletics area, and you can actually see the athletic schedules as well. So this is a really nice feature that we're adding on. Like Jenny alluded to earlier, one of the main things that we wanted to do was make this easier for our staff as well. So there's also different areas that we can go in and we can go into our ThrillShare app, which is what allows us to post our stories. But in this instance, what we're able to do is actually post to many different channels at one time. So for instance, I'm going to go right here into our app, and I am going to post on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, our live feed, and I'm going to send myself a push notification as well. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in, I'm going to grab some text right there, and then we're going to put in our community survey for our superintendent, and then I'm going to go into get me a graphic real quick.
So you all won't have, this is the back end of it, this is what our staff will use, but we're kind of streamlining the process. So our influencers, they don't have to go on, they don't have to go on Remind, especially like a safety issue. They don't have to go on Remind, social media, and then the mobile app. They can do everything in one spot.
So now all I have to do to post them to everything right here is I can go ahead and push publish. And as I do that, hopefully it'll pop up on my phone real quick. Maybe. Well, either way, it'll pop up. So again, we're testing. But what will happen is that you will get a mobile notification on your phone that says, take our survey, and then they can click on it and it'll go to our link. So were there any questions on this?
Have you put any thought into adding transportation to the app?
Yes, so actually on that end, what we can do is we have our info finder. So if we go into our documents area, oh, I'm sorry. Right here, and we have our info finder here. So they can go in and they can view bus information, where their pickups are, things like that, just like they would on the website as well. The other thing we also added was the school bucks area. So if parents need to add money to their students' accounts, they can go into the school bucks through the link.
Right.
The
But
other
I mean
part-
like a phone number.
A
for
phone number, yeah, we can add
transportation.
that as well.
Because that, I mean, parents do need that.
Definitely.
To find out, but also, you know that app that transportation is using?
Good tracking.
Find
Maybe we
My
can put a link to it.
Bus
Yeah,
or whatever?
definitely.
Put a link on there so that they can just, instead of having both.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what the great thing about the app is that we can still customize it as much as we want. So that's why we're trying to get the feedback from
Yeah.
our staff to let us know
It's
what
gonna
they
be
would want to see on there.
Evolving, working.
The,
on
the
that
other,
for
the other one is because it's an app too, it'll be a link to get to the app. The
Yeah.
parent will still have to have the app.
Okay.
For the, Here Comes My Bus.
Okay.
And the other one I was gonna say, as y'all were describing that too, with the events, is maybe a link to so people can purchase the tickets right away through this instead of going to the other app. So if they're
We can
looking
add
up and they
that.
see the game, they can pop that on
Definitely.
everything.
We're gonna try and make it so that's the one-stop
Yeah.
shopping, that they go
Okay.
everywhere. And I know as a parent, I have teachers that use different Seesaw, then they use Remind. So
Yeah.
as Mr. Chris so eloquently said at a different meeting, we are looking at hopefully replacing Remind eventually. But we didn't wanna change everything, you know, we
Right.
wanna roll it out and see how this works. But that would be the one, as a parent, you want one thing easy, let's get to it, and we want the information as quickly as possible. And we hope that this will do
That's
that. We
great.
think it will.
Awesome. Looks really exciting.
Who's gonna be handling, like, if we have, need tweaks to the app itself? Is it gonna be somebody that's calling to the district, or is it gonna be something that's handled at Google, or?
So Roger does a lot of it, but if there's something that he can't work on, we have 24-hour help from Apogee.
And then also just real quick, this is also going to replace School Messenger as well. So all the call outs that we used to get as far as the attendance, your child has missed a class, we have all that automated as well. And it also show things like your lunch account is low, please refill, just to let them know. So those are the things that we were able to take away from School Messenger and able to combine it with our app. So it's really exciting. Like I said, the feedback that we've been doing a lot of training with our influencers and people from the campuses, and a lot of people are telling us that it's really easy to use and that they like the fact that they can do everything from one spot. So,
So a parent can customize their student name in there so that it can tie into those apps that you're talking about?
yes, so what we can do is, so once we have the link up, all it does is that it'll basically pull to whatever place we want it to pull to. So if it's, like you said, the transportation app, we can put the URL there. If it's the lunch menu, all that good stuff, we can have that customized.
What about the, we use Remind now for like, we push out emergency type stuff, is that?
So right now, we're gonna have the emergency on there as well as Remind. But
Yeah.
as we slowly move away from Remind, it'll be just that. But it can send out text messages, it's a mass notification system as well.
Correct. And-
So that way, like in an emergency, we wanna be timely, right?
Yeah.
But right now, we have to go, first we're gonna go to Remind, then we're gonna go to social media, then we're gonna go to the email. Here, it's just, this is the message, boom, it's going to all of them.
Okay.
And pretty much like with everything else with push notifications, is it, just like we were saying earlier, everybody checks their phone. I mean,
Yeah.
studies were showing like you see it 53 times a day, that's what they're
Mhm.
showing right now.
Yes.
So you will see that notification. Some people check their phone before they even brush their teeth in the morning. So the great thing about like these apps is that those kind of push notifications get a lot more traction than even text messaging nowadays. So
Will like say, for example, a principal be able to push out a message to one student, or is it only mass?
No.
it'll be masked. It's to campus level. So
Okay.
even the text message that we can push out through here is campus level. So we'll still have Remind right now for our teacher level.
But we are
Yes.
looking into, because teachers also, but that's down the road, to go down to the
You will be
teacher.
eventually be
Yeah,
able to
that's what
add
we're
that.
looking at, yes.
Okay, once we get rid of Remind, we'll have
Yes.
this, okay.
Yes.
Very exciting.
And
So I
yes.
can unplug my phone at home now, huh?
And just
Never.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying, just real quick, just so you can see, hopefully I don't have, I missed the call, but, right here we have the notification in the middle right here. See? So, kind of hard to see right now.
And again, if you guys can hold off sharing it till Friday, and then go ahead and share as much as you want.
Sounds good, thank you.
This concludes our presentation, thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
So exciting.
I'm just saying, if you have something to say it louder.
Probably already out there,
I don't think it's out there.
Event's already on social media.
Okay, item J, BESL.
Yes, we do have our bilingual program evaluation. Good evening. Ms. Maria Terrazas will be presenting it.
This one's yours, right?
No.
No? Did you send it to me?
It's the.
1 second. You sent it to me? Or was it sent to me? I didn't get it. I didn't get it. We have, yeah, they have the board book. Or she said it here.
Good evening, Mr. Board President. Oh, you know what, Mr. Gonzalez, you have to share it because I don't have permission to do so. It is in your board book, so while Mr. Gonzalez sends it to Mr. Campos, I'm going to go ahead and introduce. I will be providing you with the annual update for the bilingual ESL programs. So good evening again, Mr. Board President, board members, Dr. Versa. We do have Mr. Israel Gonzalez here, who is also joining me as the Director of Bilingual ESL Programs. Under Chapter 89 in Texas Education Code, all school districts that provide a bilingual ESL program are required to provide an annual update to the board before November 1st, and so that is the purpose of this meeting. For the annual update, we're required to report out on specific items such as the district reports of the educational performance. That includes the academic progress in the language of the instruction for English learners, or as you'll see referenced here in this presentation, the newly adopted term is EBs, emergent bilinguals. Also, the extent to which English learners are becoming proficient in English, the number of students who have been reclassified as being English proficient on an annual basis, and the number of teachers and aides who have been trained throughout the year on specific strategies that are supposed to assist students in attaining that language proficiency. In addition to that, we're required to provide an update on the waivers that were filed. And so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, if you look in your, here it is here. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with this sheet here in your board book. I just click?
Yeah, just click it.
Okay. So that is the requirement under Chapter 89 Texas Education Code, as we're required to provide the update. What we're looking at here is the program snapshot. So if you look at the emergent bilingual totals for the year 21-22, our emergent bilingual enrollment did increase by 15%. That's 354 students. So if you look at 2018-2019, we had approximately 2,146 students. The following year, actually that's 21-22, and I don't think we have 2021. But 21-22, we had a total of 2,500 students, which we see that increase. And so if you look at just the programs alone, you will notice that at elementary, the number of emergent bilinguals is 1,279 students. And then if you look at secondary, which is for middle school and high school, we have 1,219 students, which gives us that number of total of 18.9% of the district of 2,500 students. So total with both programs, the bilingual and the ESL, it's 18.9% students. We also have a snapshot here that kind of gives you a breakdown by elementary, middle school, high school, and then how many we have in our migrant programs and immigrant programs. And then we also have some students who are dually coded, so they're also identified as emergent bilingual students and GT, for instance, or you'll have some students who are identified as emergent bilingual and dyslexia at the same time, 504, and special ed. So that is a more thorough breakdown of our numbers. And here, what we do have is the next section, which talks about the academic progress and the proficiency of emergent bilingual students. So we are happy to say that under Domain 3, which is closing the gaps for the year 2022, all of our elementary campuses were able to meet the English language proficiency status. So very big celebration for us. All middle schools as well met that. And so 15 of the 18 campuses met the ELPS rating, which is the English language proficiency standards. And Southwest ISD as a district did meet the ELP status for the year 21-22. And of course, you have a more thorough breakdown here by campus, and it goes year by year to be able to show you what that progress is like. Moving on to the next section that's required for us to report out is the academic progress and reclassification of emergent bilingual students. That means those students who were able to meet that proficiency level of listening, speaking, reading, and writing to be reclassified as no longer being emergent bilingual, but now they're proficient in English. And so again, you'll see under academic achievement, under STAR and TELPAS results for emergent bilinguals, Southwest ISD did meet the ELPS for the emergent bilinguals with the 41% rating. We also met the STAR, English Language Arts reading target for emergent bilinguals with the 32%. We met the school quality for emergent bilinguals with 50%, and then there are some indicators that we did not meet, but that is something that we are working towards, and we do have a plan for this current school year. And so that would include the graduation rate for emergent bilinguals at 89.7%, and then the math targets for emergent bilinguals with a 20%. So when we talk about how many students total were able to be reclassified as in the district, we had 27 students who were able to be reclassified. The next section talks about the number of teachers, because the funding that we are allotted does also lend to how we are using that money to educate and provide professional development for our teachers and our aides. So you'll look at that by the years 2019, 2020, we had about 564 participants participate in all of those sessions that we offered throughout the year, and there's very many that range from elementary all the way to secondary. And then we also have some that involve for parents, paraprofessionals, administrators. And so you'll see from 2021, we did have an increase where we had more people participating in this type of professional development, and then now up to the 21-22 school year, we had 1,800 participants. So again, that includes teachers, principals, administrators, people from central office, paraprofessionals, parents, counselors, social workers, all of those. And so some of the professional development that we have focused around has been around planning, instructional strategies, LPAC framework, which is the compliance piece, teaching for biliteracy and ESL methodology, second language acquisition, and so forth. So very thorough in our planning to align with everything that we're doing. The very last section does talk about the waivers that we are required to report out on. So very thankful to say that we did not have any waivers that we had to file for the 21-22 school year. So that is a big plus for us. So no exception ESL waiver was requested in the year 21-22. And that.
Questions?
Yes, any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dr. Versif, item K, is that a public presentation? So, item K, discussion of intruder detection audit report findings.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We as everyone knows, we're going through, I'll go to Brandon here in a second. The state of Texas, EA, through the Texas Safe School Center out of San Marcos, are doing audits, surprise audits throughout Texas, all 1,100 plus school districts. And so we've had our first round of audits, and just so everyone knows, we've also been notified that we're going to have our second round at some point in October as well. And so as part of that process, there's a requirement that we have to report out in a public meeting, and so I'm gonna turn it over to Brandon and let him kind of take it from there. So we have a second audit that's already on our books, which we'll probably have to come back in November and do another kind of report out after that.
Like Dr. Mercer said, part of the requirements is that we present out in a public meeting that we had an audit, and then we go into closed session and share with the board the actual findings, if we have any findings. And so, they gave us language that Mark's going to read for the public portion, and so he's gonna read that came from TEA, and then during closed session, we will come in here and share with the board.
Good evening, board members. Top priority of our district in the state of Texas is to keep our students safe every day, including our staff members. Our Texas School Safety Center out of San Marcos recently conducted an intruder detection audit at one of our campuses. This audit tests whether a campus is accessible to an unauthorized individual. This audit, conducted as part of Governor Abbott's school safety directives for all school systems following the tragedy in Uvalde, seeks to help districts identify how campuses can improve safety for students, such as ensuring exterior doors are locked. The audit provides us with an opportunity to create a safer learning environment for our students and staff. We are working very closely with our district's School Safety and Security Committee to ensure that we are training all of our staff and securing our doors for the protection of everyone at our campuses. The support from the state in conducting the intruder detection audits is just one of the many actions we are taking to ensure our schools are safe. We know that this work does not end, and we appreciate the board's continuous support of our safety and security programs. We acknowledge that parents and community members are likely very interested in the details of the audit results. However, it is in the best interest of the students that we did not share this information to the broader public, as it could lead to compromising important campus security information. Specific details of the intruder detection audit will be discussed in the executive session and with the Safety and Security Committee. Southwest ISD is committed to providing a safe and secure learning environment for our students and our staff.
Thank you. Item 7, we will come back to after closed session. Item 8A, consider approval of contract for RFP 2122-125 for mental health services.
So that one's under AHR, and so I'm happy to report that for the first time, Southwest ISD applied for a grant from Bexar County, and we received $1.3 million specifically to fund mental health awareness and services here in our district. As being a part of a major federal grant in which the Bexar County received, we needed to do an RFP to ensure that we followed all procurement policies and procedures, and to make sure that we receive services here that are necessary on our side of town for our community members and their families. We went ahead and did our posting for the RFP, and at this time, we would like to approve 2 vendors who have applied and who have received the tally points necessary to have services here, and that would be Family Services Association of San Antonio, that does therapeutic services, and that would do them here in district. And then Rise and Recovery, which is also a program that we can utilize here inside the district. And so we ask that the board approve the multiple vendor contract award for the RFP 2122-125 for mental health services in our district.
I move.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. The board approve the multiple vendor contract to award to qualified mental health services, resources, and training vendors for RFP 2122-125. Any questions?
So that includes the one-on-one, will that include like personnel that are going to be able to see our students one-on-one? Is that what that means?
This grant, that the way that it's awarded for 4 years. We would be able to spend around $350,000 per year.
Okay.
With that, we would receive 2 personnel that can do counseling, like an LCSW licensed social worker, and then maybe another organization, a clerk to help do the appointments of that and make sure that we get all the funding necessary. But in addition to that, we would be able to have other organizations and companies, the bereavement center, things, people who apply for the RFP to come over so that our community does not have to drive to the other side of town to receive services. We would provide a location for them and members that would help service them right here in our own community.
Okay, perfect.
Any other questions?
That includes both of those vendors you talked about, right?
Correct. So far, those are the only vendors, but we will also have other people who can provide therapy, who can pay straight from the grant.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Francis. Item 9, Business and Finance. Consider approval of amendment to the 2022-2023 compensation plan. Brandon.
Yes, sir. I come on the board tonight. You know, I know the board and the district values all employees, but we have some employees in on some of our lower end pay grades that we're having a hard time finding and filling jobs on. We have a lot of vacancies in these pay grades, and it's just, you know, ever since COVID, districts, businesses have been very competitive for this level of pay, and it just needs to be changed. And I think that we're bringing a recommendation I think you'll like, is taking our auxiliary staff, pay grades 1 and 2, and moving everybody immediately to $15 an hour, starting moving forward. And then also on our clerical staff, there's a list of employees, that's about 341 employees that have fallen below the $15 an hour mark. This will help us be competitive, get back in the market so we can attract the personnel that we need to help run our campuses and help across the district. And I think it's a good thing. It will cost the district an additional $670,000 that we didn't budget for, so if you'll do approve this, I'll be coming back in the budget amendment to fix this, just so I can get the money to make this happen. But right now, because of, we have a high vacancy in these areas, as we look at budget, and we're asking the board to approve this, and we'll make it effective immediately.
I move.
I second.
I wanna make sure the board, I wanna make sure the board knows that this will compress the scale, because we're moving everybody on these pay grades to $15 an hour that's not at 15. We're not moving anybody else in the pay grade at this time, so when we come back in the summer, we're gonna work hard and run scenarios to get some compression relief on this scale. And so I just wanted to be upfront that not everybody on auxiliary 1 and 2 and also the clerical 1 and 2 are gonna get a pay raise. It's those people that fall below $15 an hour. There will be some separation, but it'll be small, and then when we come back in the summer, we'll try to figure out how we can maximize dollars to fix that compression. So I just wanted to be upfront and clear with the board before you get out there and everybody on auxiliary 1 and clerical 1 and 2 think they got a raise.
I move.
I second.
We have a motion, a second. Any questions?
Yeah, just real quick. So where the compression issue is gonna be addressed at, when we're having conversations for the next budget?
Correct. So
Okay,
when
but
we
it's
get-
not gonna be fixed before the next budget?
It won't be fixed. We'll get into this spring, talking about
Yeah.
compensation for the following year, and we'll probably have to do something different specifically for these two pay grades.
To open it up
create
again.
some separation between, you know, somebody at 5 years and 15
Yeah.
years, because we're really gonna push it closer together.
Correct, okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you, Brandon. Item 10, C&I. Consider approval of the targeted improvement plan for McCullough Middle School 22-23.
Yes, this evening we do have Mrs. Lisa Bolte and also Roxy Freeman, our principal from McCullough Middle School.
Good evening, Mr. President, esteemed board members. So today, we are bringing before you McCullough Middle School's targeted improvement plan. So, every campus that has been identified as a comprehensive support campus across the state is required to complete a targeted improvement plan. So TEA has the campuses use the Effective Schools framework. It was developed by TEA in conjunction with school leaders and district leaders, and it gives a clear vision of what a school that is excellent in education is doing to provide for their students in 5 different areas. So these are the 5 different areas that they look at. They look at strong school leadership and planning, strategic staffing, positive school culture, high-quality instructional materials and assessments, and then 2 different areas under effective instruction. So the leadership team of McAuliffe Middle School, along with myself and their principal supervisor, met and looked at the different elements of the strategic schools framework and determined which areas that they were going to target through their plan for this year. Because the goal is, because you have to have your scores raised high enough for 2 years after you get the label, to get off of that label, our plan is that we will not be coming before you next year with the targeted improvement plan. So this is what we are looking at. These are the 3 areas that we're going to focus on this year. We're going to focus on compelling and aligned vision, mission, goals, and values, and daily use of high-quality instructional materials, and objective-driven daily lesson plans with formative assessments. Those are the 3 areas that the plan is going to target. I'm going to have Principal Roxy Freeman come and talk to you about the details of that plan.
Good evening, Mr. Vasquez and board members. So allow me just to give you a little bit of background on why we decided to go this route. The first one is 3.1, and as you see on the right-hand side, we have a core set of values, which is called the Rocket Way. And every day at McAuliffe, we say, do right, do your best, it's the Rocket Way. Well, that's what the Rocket Way means. But we have made tremendous growth within the last 4 years, and I'm very proud of that growth. And because of that, we as a leadership team had a conversation. And that growth cannot stop. It has to maintain, it has to keep going because we are an amazing campus. So with that, we came together like we have to align our vision and our mission with high expectations. So when we saw this, this really spoke to us because not only do we need to promote a safe school environment, which is a focus for every school in Texas and everywhere, but also we need to maintain our high expectations. So the way I'm executing this work is we began with our core values and we're kind of working, we knew that our whole entire campus knows this, our community knows this. On the Blue Santa Parade, we have the Rocket Way on the sides of our trucks and whatnot. So we started with this and then we worked backwards and our team, our staff came together. We developed 14 mission and vision statements. From those 14, we brought it and our lead team selected 4. From those 4, our students are going to decide and vote, our teachers are going to decide and vote, and then we're going to send it out to our parents and community members to decide and vote. So it is agreed upon mission and vision statement because McAuliffe's going to such an amazing place. The next one we decided on was the high use of quality instructional materials. So what we've done here is we've really taken a look at the work we're putting in front of our students, okay? And this work came from doing our TEACS alignment walks. So what that looks like is under the guidance of CNI and Nancy Robinson, our teachers look at their work and then they match their work to the verbiage of the TEACS and the rigor of the TEACS. We post it. We do this every month at McAuliffe. So it's just standard practice now. Because we want to make sure that the work we're putting in front of our students is that of what they need to be learning. And I'm happy to report, I received a phone call from Nancy Robinson herself. I felt like a celebrity when she called me, you're calling me? And she is bringing the principals for Bear Prep, which are principals across Bear County, to come visit McAuliffe in February to showcase the work we've done and have grown in within the last few years. We also meet every Tuesday as a PLC, and those are very high energy, very effective. But even after school, we're going to continue our work with the sustainable goals, and our teachers meet as grade levels to plan out the projects for the upcoming 9-week cycle. And the last one we have is we're going to concentrate on our daily lesson plans. So as principal, I built in the protected time within our master schedule. So what that means is when I visited Terrell Wells several years ago and saw what was working for them, I knew that I had to build that into my master schedule. So my teachers that are in grade level, content level, tested areas for STAR, they have a daily planning with expectations, right? So every day they're investing that time to put quality work in front of students. They're given that time to plan. From that, we as the admin team, we provide feedback. And then we meet with them and we plan with them. And the goal is that they are not only creating their lesson plans, they're receiving feedback, but now they're also creating the teacher exemplars and model teaching to each other, anticipating student misunderstandings before we put that work in front of our kiddos. So those are the 3 areas we're gonna focus on this year. We did have our first TEA phone call that went extremely well. We met all of our goals for last year, and I'm confident that we're just gonna continue to just soar. So thank you for your time.
So, are there any questions?
I'd like to say thank you, ma'am, for bringing our school to, I saw the gap that from a couple of years ago, and then bringing it all the way up to a C, and like that 1 point to get you into that B rating. I know you're gonna get it. I have no doubt you're gonna get there.
Well,
So,
thank you, sir, but it's the students and the teachers. It's amazing.
congratulations.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
So we ask that the board approve Nicole's targeted improvement plan for 22-23.
I move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. The board approved the 2022-2023 targeted improvement plan for Sharon Krista McCullough Middle School as presented. Any other questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you again. Motion passes. Okay. Wow. You have one more thing?
Just want to mention it's National Principal Month, month of October. We celebrate it in May, Texas style, but we do want to mention this National Principals Month. It's also, I think, National Bus Safety Month, and so we want to thank all those folks who work in both of those sectors. I do want to take a little credit for the tip thing. I hired Roxy 2 years ago. Roxy.
2 years ago.
Roxy's a phenomenal principal, and she's doing this out here. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Great presentation, Roxy. And then the other one more thing, sir, you have a list of, everyone have a list of their,
Okay.
Fire and armor, sir.
You do want to talk about fire and armor?
No, obviously, we have the fire and armor flyer also that we.
Yes.
printed out.
Yeah, the second one.
So first week of November. And,
There are some prerequisite events prior to the game on November the 4th. November the 2nd, we're going to have the Trial of Champions in the parking lot, Southwest High School. Wherever the game is going to be home in our district that follows champions every year will be at the opposite high school, opposite comprehensive high school. We also have Trunk or Treat coming up, which is a big event, safe event for our students in our community, and a great fundraiser activity for our relay event coming later in the school year. So those are the one things.
Great. So as permitted by sections 551.001-551.146 of Texas Government Code and 551.074, we will go into closed session. We're going to come back into session at 7:37. Come back into open session. And first, I'm going to make an addition to our closed session. As we were told in 6K, part of the intruder discussion, we would be talking in closed session, so I need to read these numbers. Pursuant to Texas Government Code 418.175-418.182, we did have discussion on intruder detection audit report findings. Okay.
Can you change those numbers, sir, to the ones on that paper? Those are actually the incorrect citations.
Oh, I see that. Okay, the correct numbers now, which will correct on item 11C, are 551.076, got that, Mona? Through 551.089. Okay, now we're good. And we'll go back to item 7A. Superintendent's recommendations on personnel, administrator employment, resignations, reassignments, leave of absences, and contract renewals. I'm looking for a motion.
I move.
We have a motion. I'm looking for a second.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. No mas?
No mas.
No mas.
What time is it?
Let's go. 7:39.